7, and you're tuning in what? It's the Verse TV, it's the Homo Talk Show right here, y'all. It's your boy Troy Weeks Music, as you know, part of the Verse TV team. Here swagging out with my little jeans jacket and the all black, feeling a little stuffy. But anyway, it's not about me, it's about us. So we're gonna keep it moving. Who else we got in the building?
It's your boy Rocky. Mainstream Dreams. Go get all 4 of my books. Check me out.
Check him out. That's what he said. All right. All right, now who else we got in the building? Let the sunshine bright.
You already know who it be. It's your girl, Yuri G.
And last but not least, who we got in the building? Talk to me.
Aaron Mack, representing the land, Cleveland.
All right, now his new home, y'all. You better check him out now. It's a new man. Check him out. All right, now. So you know what it's time to get to. If you watch our show, you know what we do. It's time to get to the Homo Tea. So you know what? Let's do it.
All right. So for the first topic of Homo's Tea, which will be moderated by Yuri G, flocking. And it's some Giselle tea. So Yuri, if you can go ahead and read your post that the name Giselle tea, from which the name Giselle tea comes.
Okay, birds of a feather do not flock together. I have friends that do shit I wouldn't even think of, but don't judge or love them any less. I mind my MF business and play my role as a friend and pull up when needed. Some of y'all need to learn how to be individuals and separate yourself from the pack instead of going with the flow like water down a drain. Weird ass energy y'all been on lately. End.
All right. So I do refer to myself in third person, but you know, that's what will be. So Aaron Mack, me, acknowledges the beauty in T. Taylor being there for his friends. All right. Now, nevertheless, Aaron Mack does not feel the birds of a feather statement refers to all of the birds being 100% alike to the point that they will follow each other 100% like water down the drain, like lemmings. Now, the original birds of a feather flock together, quote, can reference friends with some similarities, some similar feathers. Now, what are your thoughts of birds of a feather flocking together? And I'm passing it back to the moderator. Yuri, take it away.
All right, so I think the understanding of birds of a feather flock together, people take it quite literally. And I think birds of a feather, for me, means that people of similar or familiar spirits, you're attracted to them. Like, you don't necessarily have to be a smoker, but because you see similar traits in, like, maybe your favorite aunt, she was a smoker, you are attracted to that. So sometimes it's not even being of the same bird, it's being familiar with that bird. And so, like, you'll be attracted to that. And so, yeah, I think that's just where that goes. And some people, you know, are followers, but I think most of the time we're just attracted to something that seems familiar to us. But Rocky, since you have your face all scrunched up like this is something beyond understanding, I want to understand what are you thinking?
Well,
Go ahead, Rocky.
I know I was gonna make a joke and say you over there talking yin yang. No, just that's what I can't understand. Do you understand the words? For me, birds of a feather that flock together. I mean, I usually use it as a joke with some people, you know, because they, you know, maybe they are both mischievous and they like to get into a lot of mischief or whatever. Birds of a feather that flocks together really doesn't have to be, in my opinion, like you do everything alike. you could have some things in common. Y'all probably could be two opposite people, but have some like in between similarities. Where it's like, yeah, y'all always hanging out and y'all like being with each other. I like to hang out with some people that's different from me. I can't be around a lot of fiery people. So I mean, I have to have balance. So I mean, it could go both ways.
Mhm.
All right. So, Troy, what are your thoughts?
Well, for me, I come from the old school, and I always heard birds of a feather flock together. And for me, when I heard that, it always in the sense of people's actions and how they act and how they control themselves when they're out. And I feel like, if you out and about with people and they acting up, acting crazy, you know, and they think it's okay, as your friend, you should be able to have a relationship with your friends, time and a place. My friends know there's a time and a place. I'm not with that crazy stuff causing the scene or acting crazy or doing funny shit because I'm just real. So, I feel like when it comes to certain things, if one bird is flocking, doing certain things, and you're hanging out with that bird, and you're always with them, it's just as simple as if we always hanging out together. We say, like, for instance, prime example, super cool. Aaron says super cool all the time, right? We all here, we've been here for 97 weeks, and now I started saying super cool for stuff, and then just because I hear it all the time, right? So, birds of feather, that's the same thing. Birds of feather flock together because you with somebody all the time, you start to pick up some of their traits. Not saying that they do every single thing that they do, and just because my friend is doing it, I mean, I'm doing it because I'm definitely a man of my own. Just because I got friends that do things I don't do, that's their own business, and I don't judge them either. So not everybody will flood flocks together, but when it comes to certain time and the place and situations, that's when that matters. If your friends out here wilding out and they're with you, and you ain't controlling the situation, and they're always getting crazy, maybe you get crazy too. Maybe I need to invite none of y'all ass. So birds of a feather do flock together, but depending on what situation, not all birds.
So does that mean that we flock together? Because like low key, I have this secret that I like to try to mimic all of you guys for no reason. Because I watch you guys. But does that mean that if I mimic you and then sometimes during the show, like I give you a prime example, I sometimes mimic Yuri. It's something about her intro every time, but my name is Rocky. So then sometimes when I be like, okay, I'm going to be myself, sometimes I end up fucking up it because I mimic her all the time.
Yeah.
In her
What
intro.
happens when you're with somebody all the time? See, same thing.
So that means that because we're a crew, we flock together, huh?
Until you start doing crazy shit and doing things off the wall, we're gonna say yes. For all of us, right? Aaron Mack, what's your opinion? Because Aaron Mack probably got something to say.
Oh,
We're not talking.
well, I my opinion in the write-up of it. And
So you
I
got to go
agree
right.
it's like unanimous to an extent. Just because something says birds of a feather flock together, unlike the post, I don't feel that birds of a feather flock together means all birds that are flocking together must be 100% the same. I don't think that's how it is. I feel that birds of a feather can be just have some similar feathers, not be drones of each other, but just have similar feathers and similarities, enjoy similar things.
Oh, so ho and super ho. Okay, gotcha.
Something like that, possibly. Or it could be somebody who loves to read and somebody who likes to read coming together.
I don't like to do
Makes
neither.
Well, listen. At the end of the day, we all
You
sort of
don't
have the
like to
same
read,
statistic.
nor do you like to be a hoe. I know that's right, Rocky.
What?
You cannot be in the LGB community without being part of the whole movement.
Ooh,
All
is
right,
that
classes. All right, Shades. Yes.
We're gonna attack you.
Shades.
We're gonna
Block,
attack
block,
you.
block. No,
No.
No, I'm kidding. So also, this was an interesting topic. Moving right along, Sir Aaron. That's what we talking about next, Aaron.
All right. Well, the next topic is drum roll, please, everyone. Yes. Now, this
there was
next
no drums though.
is called Vigilante, which will be moderated by Troy, and it comes from Self Love's Instagram, and that's CELPH Love Instagram. All right, and we were tasked with watching the full 15-minute video, and I'm sure everybody did. Now, this very intellectually and finely presented information from Instagram's Self Love made Aaron Mack a little concerned about this vaccine, especially since he has family and friends who have already taken the full Moderna vaccine. All right. Now, however, that made Aaron wonder, hypothetically, if the vaccine, with its included nano-sized robotic parts, allegedly, if that vaccine made everyone else eventually react and live in a different way, for example, like zombies or robots or cyborgs or something like that, 24, like a 24/7 high from everybody, or 24/7 drunken personalities from everybody. It kind of feels like the red pill, blue pill debate from the Matrix, or like from the Lego movie, everything is awesome, from a few years ago, when everybody was just singing that song because everybody was under a spell, like everything is awesome. So, would you join the rest of the world in singing, or do you fight as a solo vigilante? How and why? Second part, at what point will there be enough people in everything is awesome chorus that you will decide that you need to pick a side? Now, I'll say for it's tough to go first, but I really don't know, because it's like, what would be the purpose of fighting everybody else just to be the one person who's different from everybody else? Why would I need to fight all of the zombies if everybody else is a zombie? Like, fight all of the zombies to then become what, the only human on Earth, and repopulate the world by myself? There's a word for that. I can't think of it. But anyway, I'm like, what would be the point? I don't want to become a zombie. I don't want to become a cyborg, But it's like, what's the point in fighting if everybody else around you has already become that? And that's also where the second question comes from. At what point would you say that you need to make a decision about what side you'll be on? Like I mentioned, I have a number of family members and friends who've already taken it. Would it be at the point that you acknowledge, oh my gosh, all of my family is a cyborg, I might as well just join them? Troy?
Well, for me, I do feel like the fight is stronger when you fight together, because to fight alone, you need to be very well versed in what you're fighting and have the information and the knowledge that it takes. And it takes a lot of time to really research, a lot of energy to research, to really understand and know what you need to know about these things. And so I feel like it's good to listen to other people and see what their research has brought them, but ultimately just take what they're saying, for what it is, but ultimately know the reality. That's just that one person's reality, no matter what it is. So you need to be able to understand that, we all have our own points, but I think it's better to fight together than by yourself. Unless you're somebody with the power tools and knowledge in your backpack and you're ready to go and stand on top of the mountain and start screaming and letting people know what it is. Because if you don't, then you put out false information or wrong information and people are following and listening to what you're saying. You don't know what you're talking about. So it's best that you join the fight and do your research on your part to be able to add to the fight if you're not knowledgeable enough to be able to fight on your own.
But what
That's
if
how I feel.
everybody else is already a zombie? Everybody else is already a zombie.
So everybody else already took the vaccines, what you're saying?
Something like that.
Layman terms, come on.
I mean, you ain't got no choice but to be, if you're the last man standing, to make it work. You're going to do whatever it takes. You're going to learn skills you never thought you're going to have to use. You're going to make it happen because we are survivors. We are survivors. If we have to do something on our own, as a people, as a person, we're going to make it happen. You put somebody in a corner, they never been in a situation, they feel threatened, they're going to come out like a cat. We survivors. We're going to come out on top. Say it again.
Why wouldn't you just become a zombie and join everybody else? Or why wouldn't you just become a cyborg?
No. If I was made to be a robot, a zombie, or a cyborg, or a clone, then I would have been that. And that's not what I am. And I have my own mind, my own people, and my own thinking. And that's not what the Lord told my heart to be a zombie. I've never followed the beat of anybody else's drum of my own in the Lord. So I ain't doing none of that. When the only thing that has me worried about the vaccine is like, when you think about it, people are saying, oh, the vaccine is the vaccine. But we've been taking flu shots for years. And the flu shot is a vaccine. So it's like, you want to, of course, there's so many different speculations about the things now because it takes time to make a vaccine. They just made this one about overnight. You know what I'm saying? They got different ones. What if you take the wrong one, you know which one to take. There's a lot of things in that situation that don't add up. I just feel like they're test dummying people. They're trying it out on anybody that want to take it. Go ahead and try it out just so we can know if it's working or not. Because technically you have to do field studies, you have to do certain things to make sure it's working in order to have volunteers for that. And so all these people are just volunteering to be figure it out until they get the right one, and they're using one central one. That's all. Yeah. Part B. Let me still just part A for now, everybody. Right? Are we gonna do for the whole thing? Well, part B. I'm gonna answer this when I'm talking.
Yeah.
So part B, would there ever be enough people in the Everything Is Awesome course that will make you pick a side? I'm gonna stand by myself if I have to. I'm not joining nothing that I don't believe in. First of all, zombies ain't got any mind of their own. They go where the brain is and where the flesh is, where they can eat. Okay, they run around here following somebody else. I don't have time for that. I'm a leader. I'm cool. If I gotta be the last man standing, then call me Jesus brother. Okay, and that's it. Because I'm not falling into the propaganda that the world places on us on the news and songs and all this other stuff that they're putting out there to make us do things. I've always looked at propaganda, these things that's like, they got ulterior motives. Why do you think these movies be already having all these things before and ultimately they happen? Global warming, yeah. They know what's up. They've been trying to warn us for years through these movies. You just pay attention. But you know what? I will say something that will be hard to make me decide. As a parent, I'm playing by my kid. And I just feel like if I had to sacrifice myself for my daughter, I probably would. That's the only time that I would have to join Everything Is course and pick a side. If it came down to me or Genesis, period. I would make a choice as a parent to make sure my daughter can continue to grow and continue to live life. So that's the one thing that will make me pick a side.
All right, good dad.
Shout out to Genesis Olivia. And so I'm gonna keep things moving. I'm gonna pick on Yuri's song because Yuri looks like she's really into it and she's got some amazing things to say. So talk to us, Yuri. Do you join the rest of the world singing or do you fight as a solo vigilante? How and why? You gonna put your ponytails in and go get a gun, or what you gonna do?
Hey, friend. I don't think I could join the cult. Sorry.
Party of what?
I feel like if it's something you don't believe in, no matter if everybody's doing it, I just don't see myself being a follower. If you want to say, because everybody, most of the people I know in the gay community is on cocaine. So I advise everybody to go ahead and do a little bit of cocaine, get you on some Tina, all those types of things, if you're going to be a follower. So if you're willing to go ahead and follow and just turn into a zombie, cyborg, whatever, then let's just test something small then. Because you don't know if you becoming a cyborg, if you're still gonna be you. You don't know if, if there's a possibility. Like genes are something spectacular. And if you sit long enough, genes can mutate. So, you might be able to become, reproductive by yourself, because everything that happens in nature always comes a solution. So something happens, nature always makes you adapt. Like, so sit it out, and I'm sure that nature will take over, and there'll be a way to reproduce regular humans, and these cyborgs are probably going to die out or whatever. I don't know how that all going to work, but the thing is, like, if you don't believe in it and you're not a follower, don't do it. I mean, yeah, you might be a little lonely, but sweetie, if you sit and watch some cyborgs and zombies long enough, you'll feel very sad for their ass. Cause I ain't never seen. It is no shade. Going back to the drugs thing, a couple of my good friends, I see them on the stuff, and when they're on it, it's like, ooh, like I love you, but ooh, I feel so sad for you, cause like especially like my good friends that like now, like they're only a couple of years older than me, and it's like they all their mouth is gone. Like now you have these false teeth in your mouth. Like, girl, that is not a cute look for you to be in your early 30s with falsies in your mouth.
The ones that come out?
I was just talking about the vaccine. You went ahead and took it to cocaine. Okay. All right.
But because it says zombies, and they be looking like zombies when they go on that TV, and looking like straight up zombies. They go from being one person to somebody totally different. So I get what you were saying.
That's a great analogy.
Well, I had a similar situation. Like it was these lesbians, because I didn't have, when I first moved here, I didn't have a lot of gay friends. So I had these lesbian girls that would hang out with me. And for a long time, they hid all the drugs that they did. And then so this one particular night, they started doing coke and stuff in front of me. And they was like, why you don't do anything? Like everybody gay is on something. Like you are so weird. If I had been a follower and just did that, like I would have been a zombie, cyborg, whatever. Just because they say everybody's a cyborg and zombie, so you might as well join the pad. Everybody, everybody is relative, and maybe I'm not everybody. So
at what point would there be enough people in the Everything is Awesome chorus that would make you pick a side? You hear me? Can you hear me? Oh.
No,
I said at what point will there be enough people in the Everything is Awesome chorus that will make you pick a side?
No, once, for me, if I have a decision and it's in my heart, there is nothing that you're gonna say or do that's gonna change it. Especially when it's dealing with something that's foreign. I'm sorry, like maybe if you're trying to convince me to eat shrimps or something, or eat turtles, like, okay, you might can convince me, but you're not going to tell me some shit that you've been swapped up in the motherfucking laboratory, and now I see everybody becoming zombies. Like, oh, that's okay. Like, okay, just shoot this in your vein. It's just going to take you on a fantasy ride dream or whatever. Like, you'll still be alive. It's just going to take you on a fantasy ride. What the fuck does that mean? Like, I don't understand it now.
Right. Got you. We're not getting on that ride, friend. We're leaving. Have a good night. Got it. Uber, Lyft, out. Got it. Okay. Rocky, talk to me. Did you join? Do you join the rest of the world singing, or do you fight as a solo vigilante?
So okay, I guess okay. So I'm gonna put it out like this. So being that we having this funny conversation, y'all do know I'm gonna get my vaccine tomorrow. So I guess I pray that I don't be like, take me to your leader. And then E.T. phone home. Y'all already got a finger that look like an alien anyway.
Oh, so you giving us Thriller tease. Okay.
No.
Was that Thriller?
Yeah, that was like Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let me stop.
Right now.
Anyways. Yo, this is the funniest part ever. Okay, see, y'all have me clown in this bitch. So I don't know. So my original thought process at first, when I started hearing about the vaccine for myself, at first I was just like, I'm not too sure. And I kept on remembering like these rumors and stuff I was hearing at church. And you know what people were saying about these chips or the mark of the beast and stuff. So I remember like one time I must have been freaking out. That's the reason I don't watch the news. And we was shut down. I'm an extroverted person. I like to go places because this shit is driving me crazy. It's getting to me, y'all. Okay. I'm gonna go crazy, borderline crazy. Anyways. So I remember I told my mama, I was just like, Mom, I got a question. I was like, you know, you always read the Bible a lot. Do you think this vaccine is like a chip or something? Are we gonna get microchipped and then we have to use our credit cards no more? Like this whole thing, I remember hearing. And then she was like, well, no, I don't believe, you know, and your pastor believes this, that, whatever. And I was just like, okay, I'm about to really do some research. I really haven't done research, but then I started making my doctor's appointments to talk to my doctor. So my new doctor, who's a Black doctor, had asked me about taking the vaccine, and she said she got it. I said, how do you feel? So I expressed my feelings about like, you know, like all the thought process of like the microchip and all this other stuff. She denied that, all this other stuff. So, I mean, I say like this, I got a lot of health issues already, but then I can't go out there. The way I like to go outside and go do things, I cannot just sit there and just, you know, I don't want to catch COVID. I hadn't had enough people in my family catch COVID. Each one of them survived, thank God. But for me, like, I can't stand in the house too much longer, y'all. So I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going to get the damn vaccine. I might as well. Hopefully, I mean, it's been a while since I took the flu shot myself, but I mean, the flu shot ain't never done nothing to me but make me, you know, feel sick at times or whatever. But what's the difference? I don't know. I'm at a standstill with it. I just want to be free, damn it.
Was there anything that will make you change your mind and make you pick a side?
If I start seeing people walk backwards and their heads spinning around and, you know, the eyes popping out of their head like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and them, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, like doing a little twitching and shit, then I'm gonna be like, oh, hell no. Y'all got me fucked up. Deuces.
Ouch. Got it. Okay, cool. Well, you know what? I think it's time to talk some sex therapy. We got a 3-part sex therapy for the last part of our hormones tea. And so let's get right to some sex therapy.
Now let me say, our friend Jerry from Everything and Then Some podcast is in our comments, and he did shout out your chest being out, Rocky, and also he shouted out your glasses, Yuri. He's like, yeah, yeah. Okay.
We giving y'all a little hot sauce in a bag way. That's what we
So
do. Ha ha.
the sex therapy topic. Oh, right. And the sex therapy topic is broken. Well, it's kind of broken into 3 parts, but I'm reading all 3, but we'll switch moderators each time. Oh, right. So for the first part of the sex therapy talk, it is moderator Yuri G and
What's up?
yes, Gwen Butler, LCSW, CST, is an AASECT certified sex therapist. Now, this is coming from Newsweek.com. And in the article from Newsweek.com, she explained that her findings in dealing with her clients is that sex problems come down to about 3 issues. And we're going to go through all 3 today. The first one was desire discrepancy. And desire discrepancy in a relationship is when one partner wants a different type or different amount of sex than the other partner. Now, my question, have you ever had this situation? How would you overcome such a situation from both perspectives? And what if, after some time together, your sexual libidos age at different rates? And what was once amazing sex becomes, eh, what would you do from each partner's perspective? Now, I will say this. This has happened to me before. There was this dude that I dated, and we very much had two very different sex drives. And I mentioned, because my sex drive was a little lower, a lot lower, I was like, you know what? I like you, so I'm willing to open up our relationship if you want to do that to get your sexual satisfaction. And he was like, no, baby, I'm totally good with you. I'm good with the fact that you don't have all of the sex that I need. And I was like, oh, thank you so much, baby. And he still went out and cheated. Yuri, I might comment as we go through, but you've got the rest of this. Go ahead. And question number one within this: have you ever had a sexual, what's the word? Not disconnect, but discordance, I don't know, with a partner that you were just on two different levels sexually?
Oh, so we're like not in synchronization. Yes, I've had that, only because I realized that a lot of his libido was being used elsewhere. But
Okay.
but usually me and my partners are typically on the same page or whatever.
Lucky you.
So
Like that little roast. Lucky. Anyway, but yeah, you're moderating. So who do you want to answer that part next?
Troy, because I really need to dig a little deeper into his sex life.
Ooh, it's hot. Ooh, hot.
I'm sorry. Is he breaking up for anyone else, or is it just me?
Yeah, his is breaking up real bad.
Okay. Troy?
God, he really wanted to avoid that sex question. I swear, he is getting talented. All right. Well, while Troy gets his story together, Rocky, what about you?
Trying to put it on speaker. I don't know how.
Oh yes,
And
today
better stop
is
talking
your day,
trash about
Rocky.
me, and I can't hear you.
Today is your day.
Hello. What you say, G?
So what were your so what are your thoughts on you and your partner not being on the same wavelength when it comes to sex? Like, if your partner wants it more or you want it more, y'all just not being on the same page. How do you feel about that? Have you ever had that experience?
Yes.
And how did you deal with it?
Yes, I've had that experience before. I'm someone with sort of a high sex drive, so some people don't want to have sex as much as I do in relationships. And I just feel like if you're with somebody and you hot, they hot, y'all can't keep your hands off each other, should be no reason why you just, I think make it happen. I think sometimes, life goes on, you get married or things happen, you long relationships. It might not be as often as things change, get busy, start confining your lives together. I get it. But damn, if you're just starting out and you're still fresh and a couple years in, you should be able to, be going. But some people, are on the same page I'm on. So I have had that issue before where I've had to be like, baby, what's up? Talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's just a thing of real life. Shout out to you, Yuri, since you said you never had that problem. I don't know how you pick them all the time and they always be on the same wavelength you're on. Maybe you got a special book, special sauce, or something that we don't know about, but it's fine. But maybe you can help others out here in the streets that deal with this problem. But I definitely have dealt with that situation before.
All right, so Rocky, since you tried to avoid it, we're back at you.
Hey, I have had this problem a lot in a lot of flings and relationships and things. There's times where I've had very, 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 very high sex drive, very, very, very high sex, very,
Three varies.
very, 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 oh so very, very extraordinary. Oh, y'all trying to get up in my life. Y'all really trying to get the day. Y'all look at y'all trying to get in my personal life. Let's just say that the relationship I have now, it's more of this now, but it's a great balance. So I mean, and yeah, fire and water, make smoke. But y'all know.
If you don't mind me asking, are you the fire or are you the water?
He's the fire. He's the fire sign.
The King Sagittarius, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was talking about in other ways. Okay.
Oh. You dig a deal. Go ahead, Yogi. I think we're on to part number 2, Aaron. Mr. Aaron,
right.
Part 2
by
of our...
By the way, Jerry said, to be honest, I don't think the sex drive is the problem. It's the communication. In the beginning, sex
Say that.
is very important in a relationship. And you should figure that out sooner than later by simply asking. That's what our friend Jerry said.
All right, Jerry, shout out to you. Yes, sir.
That.
All right. So the next part, and all 3 of these will be live, and the last question will turn off the live.
Gotcha.
Okay. So for sex therapy part 2, Gwen Butler, LCSW, and I know Rocky knows what LCSW means.
Licensed clinical social worker, baby.
I know that's right, Rocky. All right. The COVID
existence.
Part 2. Now, it's been explained that in this pandemic, with a lot of couples newly stuck at home together on top of each other, and with kids in the house much more often, a number of couples are experiencing intimacy troubles. Now, have you ever had intimacy trouble with a partner? And how did you overcome? And if you haven't, how would you overcome intimacy troubles?
Yes, and that's my topic as moderator. So yes, I've had trouble with a partner with intimacy because I'm an intimacy type of person. Intimacy is not just sex, it involves a lot of different things, how you talk to me, how you touch me, how you make me feel, how you, just being that. So I get it. My issue is, how did I overcome it? Well, first, expression and communication. Like Jerry said, communication is very important. You got to be able to open your mouth and speak about how you feel and not sugarcoat it because you feel like you want to hurt somebody's feelings. Because at the end of the day, you still got to live for yourself and make sure that you are comfortable. So you got to definitely, talk about it. So we talked about it, and eventually, slowly but surely, it started to change. It took some time, but It eventually did change. I just feel like the communication was the key. As long as you can communicate with each other and be on the same page about how you feel, then you ultimately can be on the same train, going in the same direction and making it happen. So yes, I've experienced it, and I just communicated and we worked through it, and that's how we overcame it. So yes, I'm gonna go over to Yuri G on this one. Have you ever had any intimacy trouble with your partner? How did you overcome it?
Yes, I've had intimacy issues, but it was due to several factors. It was work, and the other reason was medication. So with the medication thing, depending on what medication, your doctor can prescribe you additional medication to alter the other medication that might be messing up your arousal or whatever. And as far as like work, like I was working at the time as an entertainer for the adult masses. And so I lost the urge of being turned on just by visual. And, you know, I needed my partner to connect with me on a deeper level. And, you know, he just like, oh, you looking so sexy. And it's like hearing that all day. And then people just wanting to touch on you. Like that doesn't turn you on because it becomes the regular. So I needed more of an intimate, deep, you know, type thing in order to be turned on. Like I had lost that urge because I was surrounded by it all the time. So it's just like communication and, you know, with everything, communication. Like if it's medication, you need to communicate this stuff with your doctor that ever since you've been on this medication. If it's your partner, you need to, you know, tell your partner that, oh yeah, I need more from you to be turned on. Like it, you know, sometimes intimacy, you just need to acknowledge what the problem is and communicate about it.
Right. Awesome. Yes. Thank you, Ms. Yuji. All right. Same question to you, Sir Rocky. Have you ever had any intimacy trouble with a partner, and how'd you overcome
it? In my first relationship, we had got back together 10 times, and it was different each time. But it was one time where they wasn't as intimate as they were. Couldn't find out they cheated. And I remember having that question, like, you know, why did you do that? You know, why didn't you just tell me something or whatever? And I think it was some bullshit excuse. I can't forget I can't remember because that was about years ago. Mm-hmm. But you know, that was a problem. And then there was another. Y'all met one of them where the person was literally like using me as a come up. So they wasn't even trying. Like I'm like, okay, you in my crib, you ain't cuddling with me, you ain't wanting to get intimate. You only get intimate when you want to get intimate. But they was using me as a come up because where I was at in my life, I'm higher than them. They was using me and my education and my gifts to get on to the next level.
Period. That's just how it happens, right? Unfortunately, that's the sad part that we have to deal with.
Is everybody frozen or is it
just you? Everybody else is fine.
Mm-hmm. And we will be back after these brief commercials.
Wait,
is that busted?
No, nothing's frozen.
Okay. All right. Yeah, everything's fine now. Okay. All right.
So now we're moving on to the last part of our sex therapy, actually.
Sex therapy. All right.
Really? Robin? Really?
Yeah. Yep. Robin Thicke. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I heard
his new album
remake of that song that I was like, oh, I love it. Anyway, sorry. So Rocky is moderating this last part, and sex therapy again. Gwen Butler, LCSW, sex therapist. For part 3, sex anxiety. Now, fear of not being able to please your partner. This sex therapist, Gwen Butler, writer of the article, mentioned oral sex is often a source of sexual anxiety. And some of her sex therapy clients are uncomfortable with oral sex because they say they don't know the right way to do oral sex. And to that, she explains, well, the right way is however your partner wants it and enjoys it. Which I'm not gonna lie, anyway, okay. I was gonna say that sounds kind of not masochist, misogynist, but then I'm like, no. Anyway, how would you recommend partners better communicate to experience mutual sexual fulfillment from both partners' perspectives? And both partners being, if you're the one who's like, I want you to give me oral sex, and your other partner is like, I don't know how to do it, from both partners' perspectives. The one who wants it, how would you communicate that, hey, this is what I want, this is what feels good? And from the other partner's perspective of, well, tell me where do you want me to put it? Yeah. Okay. I know y'all don't remember that. That goes back to my childhood. That was solo. Tell me where, oh where do you want me to put it?
Okay.
Say I come get it right. Rocky, you got it. You can stop me.
Okay. I was just letting you have your moment.
That was the 90s. That was the 90s. Y'all don't remember the 90s like I do.
I was born in 1988, sir. I was still trying to catch on. Yes. So for me, I have to answer right? I'm answering right? Okay, cool. So look, so for me, you just have to figure out, like, really honestly, if you sit down and discuss, if the person really is into you and y'all really have this niche and y'all, and y'all really are here together, you know what I mean? Y'all intertwined. That's what it usually starts off with, if it's real. I just really feel that, you just gotta just ask a person, what do they like to do in bed? What turns them on? Like, I'll be like, okay, I like to do this, I like to do that, and they be like, okay, I like to do this, like that. You know what I mean? Some of them they like, I like to do the flow, or maybe sometimes, whatever. People got their own little thing. They kind of, spike them up and shit. Ping, ping, bang, 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 ski, be ready to go.
Do you set up a conversation for that, or are you like, we're gonna talk about this tonight at dinner, 7:45 p.m.
Wait, see. See, for me, it really, sometimes it comes up in the first conversation, and sometimes it happens in the heat of the moment when you're just, I've had moments where you talking to having a conversation, and y'all talking about a lot of stuff. Y'all having drinks and having marijuana and whatnot, and you just lean over and start kissing on a person because you really like them and shit. And then, y'all just start finding out shit then. And then I've had people stop me. They be like, I'm not into that. Okay, well, you can learn that way too.
Hello?
I mean, it's all different variables. I mean, different strokes for different folks, as I always say. So with that being said, Troy, what's on your mind? Like, you got a lot to say. What's on your mind? Would you how would you handle this situation?
I feel like a lot of people may feel like they don't have experience in something, so they don't know if they're doing it right. Everybody's different, just because Jack like this way, then John might like another way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like ultimately, if you communicate with the body like I do, then, you don't have to worry about what people like. You won't have to ask what they like. That's not a turn on. Touch me here, but somebody tell you everywhere you got to touch them. Like, you need to be able to find that if you're a real G. So I feel like, it's okay if you feel like you don't know how to do it. you should be able to just enjoy the moment with the person. If you're enjoying the moment that you're with and you connecting with that person, you're gonna know what they like, what they don't like. You can see if their eyes is moving, you can see if they're rolling back behind their head, you can see if they're enjoying what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta pay attention. Don't cost you the money to pay attention. It's free. You don't cost you the money to pay attention. It's free. Just pay attention to the person you're with and stop, and stop using, like some people said, like the therapist said, some people are just using sex for different reasons. Saying sexual anxiety or whatever the hell, different things. But don't use sex for that, and you'll be fine. I feel like if you connect with somebody, you're a normal human being, they're a normal human being, you're gonna know what's up. You're gonna know what's right. How would I recommend partners better communicate to experience mutual sexual fulfillment for both partners? Listen, put on the table what you like, period. No surprises. When you write a list, I write a list. I like this, I like that. Tie me up, do this, do that, do that. Blah, blah. What you like? I like this, blah, blah. Okay, well, these 5 things we both like. Okay, we can go with that. And you're like, oh, well, I don't know. That's too extreme for me. I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, we can try that one. Let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, put it out there. Put it on the table. That's what we doing.
You know what I want,
like.
guys? This is what I want. I want a lap dance, and I want them to dress up like Janet Jackson for me. I want them to perform 2 songs, anytime, anywhere, or do I want to do this one or Would You Mind? I think Would You Mind be better. Y'all got my vision. How many of y'all want that? I mean, watching all that Janet Jackson, just doing the lap. I want them to do that.
I'd rather be Janet
bars
Jackson.
of Would You Mind? I can't think of it.
Baby, would you mind?
Undressing me, watching me, while in the
letting juices free, white moment. But I just want to play with you, touch you, ride you, all that kind of stuff.
All that good stuff.
Sorry.
Watch the All For You tour, and then you can figure out what the song is about.
Oh, was it on All For You? I actually love that album. I can't believe I don't know it. Anyway.
Shame on you.
Yeah, that was a dope
Cancelled.
Sex therapy,
Cancelled.
Sex therapy was hot today. I gave my 2 cents, so that was me. I'm not sure who's last.
So Yuri, what's up? What you thinking? Y'all on. They have an anxiety. I guess when they sucking on a titty or something. I mean, I don't get what anxiety has to do with it, but okay.
So me personally, I'm not a real big fan of, oral sex on me. Like, like I allow people to do it. It's not really like a big thing for me. But I know a lot of people get turned on from, providing pleasure. So it's not a big thing for me. But if you're both partners who are very into it and you want to make sure y'all both are getting something out of it, what my ex used to do or whatever, is suck on my finger to tell me, to show me how he wants me to do it to him. So while I'm sucking on him, he be sucking on my finger and maybe twirling his tongue around. So like whatever he does, I would mimic it. So you just have to come with ways of explaining what it is that you want. For me, I'm not going to tell you anything about pleasing me, orally, because all of it's cool, it's nice, but I'm not getting anything out of it, like seriously. Like there's some activity, but you're not going to get completion from me. It's never going to be completion for me. Like, it is 1 in a million that I go to completion from oral sex. I'm sorry. So, so just communicate it, whether it's, demonstration, or just, verbally talking through it. But I think it's easier to just, mimic or whatever, because like we tried talking through oral sex. He's like, go deeper. No, let's this and more that, and like in the you're trying to listen too much instead of focusing on what should be doing. So I think mimicking your partner is a little bit easier.
I'm not gonna lie, that finger thing is a dope idea, but part of me was like, I don't know if I want to suck on somebody else's finger. That's kind of gross. But that reminded.
But then after that, it's like, but you're gonna suck on a penis and pee pee comes out of it.
I know. And a friend of mine years ago, when we were younger, in our early 20s, and we went back and forth between dating and not dating, dating and not dating. And he was like, when I use the use the bathroom to urinate, I don't wash my hands when I finish unless I urinated on my hands, because unless I mistakenly got some on my hands, like I keep my penis clean, I suck dick. So if somebody's dick is clean enough to go in my mouth, why would I need to wash my hands just because I touched my own dick? When I put my dick in somebody else's mouth as I take somebody else's dick in their mouth. And at that time I was like, oh well, that kind of makes sense. Anyway, but that's what made me think of that. I'm like, yeah, at the end
What
of
the
the
orgy going on here?
huh?
I said, what in the orgy is going on here?
Well, sucking a fan. One of my exes used to suck his thumb, and I thought it was the cutest thing. I was in love with him.
I had one that sucked on his thumb too, and I thought it was cute, but his behavior, I mean, I was just like, I'm getting too old for this shit. And then the next year came, and then I had to tap in my inner Sierra and said, level up, level up, level up, level up.
Well,
Hell
listen
yeah.
here. I think we need to move along to our main topic, because sex therapy got y'all going crazy up in the streets.
Troy, crazy? Was it crazy?
Oh, I did want to say, so basically Jerry was saying it all comes down to communication. That's very important. You got to communicate with your partner. And there was one more point. He's like, all caps, just talk to your partner. That can solve just about any problems in a relationship.
Well, all right, to Jerry. All right now.
Jerry. Everything is in some podcast. We love you guys.
Yes, we do.
You're dope. And we will turn off the live Burst TV week 97.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment,
subscribe, and share.
Share
it.
Share
it
with
Share it right now.